In this video, what I'm going to run through are 7 MetaTrader 4 tips. So 7 MT4 tips. They'll make your life a little bit easier and make your navigation around the MT4 platform hopefully a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient. Now, as you'll see, I've got a chart of gold and it's hourly chart of gold up at the moment. Now, one of the very first things and one of the most frustrating things most people encounter is when they start scrolling to the left, you notice that the chart keeps jumping back to the right, the most current information. This is really frustrating. This is probably the most frustrating thing nearly every new MT4 person experiences when they turn on the platform and are not familiar with the platform itself. So very, very frustrating, but as it turns out, it's just this little button here, scroll the chart to the end on tick incoming. If you just deselect that, now you can actually scroll back in time with ease. There you go. The other thing as well is you might want to do some price projection because the button to the right of it there, well, let me just show you that if I did happen to be here and I was back testing and testing out strategies and that type of thing, I can just click it and it goes straight to the right hand side. But you'll see that there isn't a lot of space between here and there, and if I wanted to project, like if I was suggesting that if the trend line was broken through here and then I would look to project it forward, where could it go? Could it reach new highs? I just put a bit of space in there and now it enables me to start to see where my price projection might be if I were going down that path, if I wanted to try and see where it could go. So those two buttons there are very, very handy. Use them frequently. As a trader, you'll be using them quite regularly. Now, let's have a look at creating multiple trend lines on the chart. Now, within MT4, as you know, you can create a trend line like so, and it would be nice if I were to recreate that trend line over the top. Now, you might think you would just go, oh, try and make it so it's almost parallel and make it look like that, but there's an easier way. If I select it by double left clicking and then I hold down the control key and then click and drag the line, I can now move that trend line to wherever I like and I know it's perfectly parallel to the original trend line there. Okay, so let me do that again. If I were to draw a trend line over there, double left click, hold down the control key, and then I put the bottom support line trend line on there as well. Now they might not be perfect as you see on the chart there, but they're pretty close, especially that one there. There was quite a period through there, but to get those highs and nearly those ones through there and so on. But in any case, you can see that that's a pretty handy little trick. So if you want perfectly parallel lines, that is fantastic. Now the next one is just deleting trend lines. Not everyone knows how to do this. So, and it is a little bit annoying. Sometimes you try and select a trend line, but it's not selecting. Well, within MT4, you do have to double left click on the trend lines. And there's a couple of ways you can go about deleting it. You can right click and then you can left click on delete, or you'll also notice there's something called the objects list. Control and B, I could just click on it and it's got all the trend lines there. You'll probably find the easiest way is just double left click, then right click and delete. Double click, right click and delete. Double click, right click and delete. And you can do that for indicators as well. In fact, you just have to right click on those and you can delete that, or you can Control plus I to bring up the indicators list to see what you have on the chart there. Tip number 4 is locating all the symbols from your broker. Now this is another thing. Most MT4 brokers, they set up their MT4 by default and they can pre-select what you see in the market watch window over on the left hand side here. So some brokers might have say 10 that are in the market watch, and then you're like, I know this broker has 60 currency pairs or whatever the case may be, and cryptos and indices and commodities and so on, but you can't find them necessarily. So the way to do that is to right click in the market watch window and then left click on symbols, and then the symbols list will appear, and then you can see they've categorized them into different folders: standard, exotics, metals, indices, commodities, cash and cryptos. So then you can see all the currency pairs. Now if I wanted to add one, say I wanted to add the Aussie CAD, I just double left click, close that, and it will appear at the bottom of the list here, Aussie CAD. And then I can right click and I can bring up a chart window and then apply my template over the top and so on. So that's how you locate all the symbols from your broker. And the next tip, tip number 5, is activating one-click trading. Now this one's pretty straightforward. You right click, oops, I did actually click on that. You can toggle one-click trading off and on there. Now normally, if you haven't already done it, when you go to activate one-click trading, you do have to tick and confirm that you agree to the terms and conditions of one-click trading, but now it'll enable me to buy or sell. I can adjust my quantity in there, but I can buy and sell and the order will automatically go through there. Okay, tip number 6 is to change the properties of how you view your charts and the color scheme. So let me just remove, I'll leave the one-click trading there, but if I wanted to change the color scheme, I could right click and then go all the way down to properties down the bottom, left click on that, and then I can access the properties. So I can change the red candle and green. Some people are red-green colorblind, obviously very common for people to be red-green colorblind, so you can change those, and some of the common characteristics as well can be changed there as well. So you can change it to a bar chart, from candlestick to line chart and so on. Got access to all the color scheme there. The 7th tip is a very important one because this enables you to access all your trading history and results. So if I were to go down to the terminal tab down the bottom here, and if I left click on account history, what I might want to do is access my full history and some of the statistics of my trading. If I right click here, it enables me to left click on Save as Detailed Report. Now if I click on Save as Detailed Report, it enables me to save it to a folder, and I've already gone ahead and done that just before. So we'll pop in and have a look at the detailed statement. So you save it as a detailed statement, or you could name it, probably give it a date, would be a good idea. Click on Save and it will pop in there. Now let me just bring up what that looks like. So now you can see I have all my account history on the screen in front of me, so I can see all the trades that I've made. This is just a demo account, and most importantly, right down the bottom, I can start to see all my statistics of my trading system. Equity curve is very important, obviously rising, going from left to right is always very good. And then you'll see all the statistics, average win, average loss, and all those type of elements there. So that's the 7 tips. That one is very important because you want to make sure you've always got access to your account history and the detailed stats of your trading system. And then you can just go back to the trade window there in the terminal window. Okay, so there you have the 7 MT4 tips to help you navigate around the platform, make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more efficient. And if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.